of Cadaf Online. So we know some of you, we don't know some of you. For those of you whom we don't know, Cadaf is a crypto and digital art fair. It's the second online edition that we host. We have 3 of our wonderful exhibitors here with us today. They all sell their art at Cadaf. I think all of them are selling NFTs, so everything that you see will be available for you to enjoy. Maybe we will go through the booths, but maybe once you are done speaking about your booth, or in between, if you also want to paste the link to your NFTs in the chat, that would be also helpful. But we will follow up later in the coming days with the email with the links to the NFTs and other great information. Hi, Benton. How are you? Good to see you. All right. So Elizabeth, whom I don't see anymore.
I'm right here. I can share my screen just to kind of get us started.
Yes, that would be great.
Let's share. For some reason it's okay, yes. Let me just pull it up. Here we go. All right, so here is, let me just pull up the main fair. So here's what kind of our main platform looks like, Elena, if you want to start.
Yeah. So this is the second reiteration of the platform. Everything that you see is the booths, really. We have a lot of booths, and we have, I think, around 120 exhibitors at this point. So yeah, we are amazed with the exhibitors and the art that is coming to Cadaf every year, and more often than that. But this year, I think, really exceeded all of our expectations. So we try to, and we continue working on the platform to make it so that the things that you see really make sense, that they fall into different categories and stuff like that. But yeah, it's pretty much the idea of bringing the physical art fair, which we hosted in New York and in Miami, to the virtual space, and you know, let people enjoy the art, even if they're not in the same physical location with us, and to interact with the artists and with the galleries and with the institutions, which we also try to include the institutions for digital art. So we also have, you know, our cultural programming with the panel discussions, talks, and everything else going on quite extensively. But I think now let's just go into the booths. And so we decided to start with Cyber Shakti, Priyanka.
Yes.
Hi, Priyanka. So maybe we can just enter the booth. And the way it worked for us is that we can show you which we can show the other artworks in the booth, and you can just tell us which one to click on, tell Elizabeth, and she will be happy to show them. But if you can tell us about your work, about your creative process, and everything else that you want to share.
Sure. Hi. Hi, everybody. My name is Priyanka, and I'm from Bombay, India. And firstly, I want to thank Elena for having me over, and the entire Cadaf team for putting all this together and, you know, helping us through the process. It's been a month now that we've been interacting, and, you know, the team's been really supportive. Any silly tech issue, anything, Elena, please help. And there's some always there. So I'm just so
Thank
happy.
you, Priyanka. That's very sweet. We try.
So I decided to sort of not go ahead with Priyanka as my artist name. I actually wanted to, you know, come up with a name that sort of told people about what I want to communicate. Now, Cyber Shakti, it's basically 2 words put together. Shakti is the feminine energy, you know, because anything that we create is traveling through cyberspace, through pixels, to communicate what I'm feeling to you. That is the power of energy exchange. Even in the virtual space, it's how you look at an image and you have some feelings that come up. Every visual is evocative, and I wanted to sort of just be that. And especially, now that I'm into NFT, this Shakti, this energy, this vibe that I want to communicate is going to be in cyberspace forever, thanks to blockchain. So every piece that I make is a part of my soul that I put out. And I started my journey as a photographer, and I've been a photographer since as long as I remember. And when I was around 23, I had to give up my photography to sort of take up a conventional marketing job to support my family. And for about 1.5 years, I was not creating. And when I was not creating, I was emotionally very, very, very stuck. I was not very happy. And that is the point of time when I discovered glitch art. Now, glitch art is taking an image and inducing aesthetic errors in the image. So if Elizabeth, if we can go to any of the images, actually.
Okay.
Let's can we go to the one with the lady in the car?
Yes.
Now, this work is called One Way or Another. This is just me having fun, and this is an ode to the song by Blondie. It's an old song wherein it's about a modern woman who is, every woman has a duality that lives in them. Now, if you see, it's just one person, but there are two personalities here, which I have sort of created through this glitch effect. And everything about this image is it's just a modern, vibrant, naughty, energetic woman that I love. And this was actually exhibited at the Graffiti Queens exhibition, and this work is actually not up for sale at the moment, so you'll have to pick it up on the secondary market.
Great, and then I can go back.
So which one would you like to see next? Let's go to pick an image. Every one of them is my favorite.
This one looks amazing. I love these colors.
This image is called The Water Bearer. Now, this is quintessential small town village India. If you ever come to India, I'd love to take you to, one of these nameless villages. And this was actually shot at 6 a.m. So the woman of the house, she walks for miles to go to the well. She fills water for her family, and then she walks miles with pots of water on her head. To it's very symbolic of all the Indian women who live their lives in servitude, not questioning their existence. It's a beautiful morning. She's humming by herself, and me, like a creep with my mobile phone, I'm clicking a picture from behind. But the processing actually includes a lot of gradient maps in Photoshop, because I wanted to also fill it with a little bit of, I wanted to make it more like a painting as opposed to a picture. So I sort of painted over it by hand also in a few places, but yes, this was a beautiful morning at 6 a.m. And this visual has actually been in a couple of exhibitions now. It's been showcased at the Crypto Art Asia. Now it's here at Cadaf, and it's a one-of-one. It's a single image only, because I just love it, and I did not want to, I just wanted to be one of a kind.
All right, I can move to the next one if you like. Let's look at maybe one of the glitching ones.
Yeah. This is a lot of visual experimentation. So, glitch art is usually seen as very, it's seen as very kitschy, and it's seen as very, lo-fi. It's seen as very low resolution. I was like, but what if I take glitch art and I marry it with high fashion couture? Or what if I take glitch art and make it beautiful? So I wanted to take glitch art and I wanted to put it in a fashion editorial. And that is an attempt that I've made with this this GIF actually. Now the process is actually, it's a lot of hand-drawn patterns that I saw on a fabric. So all this is hand-drawn by me, and a lot of glitching happened once I was done with the drawing, and this is what we have. Please feel free to throw questions at me. I'd be happy to.
Thank you, Priyanka. No, I mean, this is amazing. I'm sure everybody is, yeah, it's just a super interesting, super interesting. I don't know if they can unmute themselves actually easily.
Let me make that happen.
But everybody can anyway write questions in the chat box, and we'll leave time for the questions after all the presentations.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe just go into some of the other.
Yeah, is there anyone specifically that you pulled? Maybe this one?
Yep. Now. All right. So as you know, India is still in the throes of second wave of lockdown. So 2020 was all the way in lockdown. We had like relief for 2 months. That is December, January, we moved out. And then come Feb again, 2021, we've been in lockdown, and I've been in isolation, and I've been having trouble falling asleep. And it's one of those insomniac nights, when I was trying to unclutter my mind, try to see why I'm not getting sleep. This is actually a deep dive into my subconscious, where everything was underwater, and I'm just playing around with whatever way my thoughts are flowing. So this was made in one go. I did not stop. I was just processing my thoughts, and my hand was working. So whatever you see is a direct exploration of a few nights of insomnia and me and my softwares. This is like a deep dive inside my mind.
It's very beautiful.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, I actually wanted to juxtapose a lot of patterns, because we have a lot of patterns that keep playing on and off in life, our thought patterns, that is. So this is like a metaphor for everything that we navigate through. And if you can see, there is flowers that are also sort of seen in a very negative, it's the negative photograph. It's about all those memories, the good times that get hidden under a few layers of whatever's built up over the years.
Priyanka, and how did you get into this? Are you a photographer by
Yes.
training? Okay.
Yes, so I used to do a lot of portraiture photography and a lot of street photography.
Interesting.
Very cool.
All right, shall we show something else?
Yeah, let's maybe move to here.
This is a glitch art rendition again of what happens when fashion meets glitch art. Now, this was more of a hot take of sorts on fashion magazines. This one is actually called Condé Nast. So, while it's very symbolic of, how it's a take on beauty standards, actually, how people in the photographs look beautiful, but actually they've driven themselves mad trying to be that way.
Okay.
So that is that was the idea that I was working with when I was composing this image. So there's this fake air kisses that happen at a lot of fashion parties. We have that also. The mole is it's a sign to Marilyn Monroe's beauty.
Mm.
Oh,
Mhm.
sometimes it's just something playful that I made. And
Great.
yeah,
Great. Maybe that's.
now
So
this
maybe one more if you pick.
Yeah, is there a specific one you want me to choose?
we'll go through these very quickly now.
Right.
If you can go to this one, seesaw,
Is that which one? Sorry,
bottom.
bottom. This one.
Yes.
I love this one.
It's gorgeous.
This is pure glitch art. This is pure whimsical, playful, childlike joy that I wanted to bring out. Now the children look very somber, but at the same time, the treatment of the seesaw, that is the element of play I wanted to bring out. So it was a lot of pulling of pixels and then animating the whole thing.
It's very interesting. And is it a picture that you took? The photograph that you took?
Not this one. No.
No.
Another picture that I took actually is, if you can go to another work of mine, this one, the sadhu, next to the seesaw. Yeah.
Got it.
This is actually a photograph that I took, and then I sort of, this was shot by me. I used to go to a lot of fairs, a lot of these, if you've heard of Pushkar Camel Fair.
Some festivals.
Yeah, the camel festival. So you have a lot of these religious people who are called the aghoris or the sadhus. They have all these Shiva like dressing, and they have long hair, and they don't take a bath for years because it's supposed to be some form of meditation. These characters have very interesting stories if you sort of happen to interact with them. They're also scary. You should be careful of your money and your cameras around them. But yeah, I found this face to be very interesting, especially with what's happening on the forehead and the jewelry that he was wearing. So I took that image. This was photographed by me a couple of years back, and I glitched it out recently, and then I did this little painting on it to, again, because this is, going back to the photography life is a dream of mine. And again, a lot of doodling is, again, a piece of what's happening in my mind at that point of time.
Interesting.
This one is actually edition of 10.
Okay.
It's helpful. Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Is there any other you specifically want me to go to quickly, or?
We can do this one, Fountain of Intimacy.
Which one is this one? Sorry.
Next to the glitch video, the 3 hands, the 6 hands actually. Yeah.
Maybe you can try doing a full screen, Elizabeth. Would it work?
Yeah, it ends up cutting it off a little bit, so.
But maybe that's okay. Is it okay, Priyanka? It's just you can see it much better this way.
Yeah. If you can just try zooming out a little because it's cropping out.
Oh, cropping out. Okay.
Here, this might be easier.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
So this is actually glitch, and it's a lot of fractal work as well, blended with the elements of intimacy. Now, again, this is made during the lockdown time last year when I was totally isolated, and these are just 3 a.m. thoughts that I had about intimacy. as a 30-year-old having existential crisis in the middle of isolation.
Yeah, I see we have a question. How long did it take you to create this work from Roxana?
The Fountain of Intimacy?
I guess so, yes.
Yes. This actually took me 2 nights.
Okay, that's pretty quick.
Yes. It took me 2 nights because I had an idea in my head. So I knew pretty much what I wanted to create when I started out.
Amazing.
So it was a lot of mirroring the hands. So the image was just 2 hands coming together. So it was a lot of mirroring in the Photoshop. And then there's a lot of bursts of fractals. So exactly, intimacy is very personal to people. At the same time, generally, if you see, if millennials talk about intimacy, they have a fear of committing, or they have a fear of intimacy. Nobody really actually opens up. I mean, physical or sex is not intimacy. Intimacy is something private, and no two people have the same definition. At the same time, if you look at generations of love, or if you look at celestial beings, how did those celestial beings experience intimacy? Some is on, like Zeus is on some other planet, his love is on some other planet. How did they communicate? How did that work?
Yeah.
Also I was missing the human touch because it was the lockdown period, so
Sure.
it got easy to thinking about it.
Well, I think this is quite amazing. Beautiful works, Priyanka. They're amazing. Or should I call you Cyber Shakti? Cyber Shakti, very beautiful.
How do you determine your style? Glitch art. So honestly, I like to blur lines between glitch art, painting, animation. It's just what flow I am in at that point in time, because there's this beautiful quote that I heard, that if you are a musician, you cannot say that I am a hip hop artist. If you're a musician, you go and play with everything that's possible. You cannot say I only do this. So for me as a visual artist, it's what tools were accessible to me at that point of time, and what ideas came to me in that moment. So I just like to call myself a visual artist and not just a glitch artist, or not just a photographer.
Amazing. Sounds great. Really loved your works. And let's get back to the questions, I guess, after everybody has a chance to present, but really beautiful. Thank you so much, Priyanka. We really, really love them. And,
thank you.
Love seeing them in details, and love hearing about your process, finally. All right, so the next is Eleanor. Eleanor, please introduce yourself and share what you are showing.
Hi, hello everybody. Thank you so much, Elena, and the whole Cadaf team for doing this again for the first time. So it is my fourth time at the fair, New York, Miami, and fortunately or unfortunately, but we're still here, 2 online editions. Obviously, I hope to see everybody in person soon, but this is also, a different kind of adventure. So thank you for organizing this. And congratulations, Priyanka, for your book. I love your art. Yes. So,
very cool, huh? Yeah.
And so I am presenting here with my Breezy art, which is this curated art space. A few artists that I have been working with for a while now. We have Travis Leroy Southworth, Richard Garrett Bensnell, and Giants One, Jesse Young, and Lily Honley. I will just talk to you about it. It will take forever to talk about these artists, and I hope that you can just check the booth and read the description of the art pieces. I would like to give you my take on the artists and their practice in general. So if we start from Travis, we have 3 pieces by Travis. One is the first on the left, yes, and then we have his portrait, and then we have another one. Maybe if you want to go to his portrait. Yeah, just to so Travis is an amazing artist who, as a daily job, and it's always so fun how he talks about it. He corrects all the imperfections of these portraits. So in Photoshop, he's a photo retoucher, and his work is really significant because what he actually does is that it doesn't throw away these imperfections that manifest in pixels, but he keeps them and he creates art pieces from that. And I was always very fascinated by that because I was like, you know, it's everything that we don't want to see in our society, magazines, because he works with fashion a lot. And the titles that he uses for his art pieces are always very fun because he takes the titles from requests from his clients. So pretty much he let us understand that these imperfections can actually be something very beautiful. He even creates art out of that. Here we see his portrait is an old work of him. And at the end of the video, what will stay of his portrait will just be his imperfections, so like hair, wrinkles, and freckles, and everything. And eventually they will all explode and create their own galaxy. If we want to check other works by him, that's what he does for either using GAN, so machine learning, or Photoshop, or other techniques. He prints on silk, he prints on paper. Sometimes it's pure digital, for instance, like these NFTs that we have here, although they're paired with physical components, really showing us. And I hope that you can read the interview that we have done with him, because at a certain point, what happened to him is that he experienced the skin cancer on his face, and somehow it was such a coincidence that an artist whose practice is just this happened to him. So not to focus on this part of the story, but if you go throughout the whole interview, you will discover how he was able to take preciousness out of that as well. Another artist that we have is Ben Snell. Maybe you can click on the sculpture. Talking about his practice, Ben Snell works with AI and with machine learning. It's either drawings or sculptures or digital videos. What we have here, and it's a big part of his practice, briefly, he really explores the relationship between humans, himself, and what a computer can create. For instance, in this very famous series of sculptures, what he does, he trains the computer to become a sculptor. And so he feeds him images and documents of all these classical sculptures from Rome and Greece. And in the end, the computer will have a dream that we actually have videos for. And with this dream that the computer has, we will get the sculpture that the computer has created in its mind. The most interesting part of the process is that at that point, this computer that he bought, its little computers, will get destroyed, and the digital memory will live again in the physical sculpture. How? Ben uses the dust and the computer components to actually cast the sculpture. We have videos and interviews, and you can see the whole process. It's very fascinating on how the artist even leaves a message to the computer. So he just sent a goodbye message to his desktop, and so really like the digital memory will live in this physicality forever. Another piece that we have by Ben here is a drawing. It's part of the series. This is also a series of drawings that he, as you can see, it's still the idea of the sculptures that he created with AI. This drawings are also part of an amazing article that we have here that you can read. The band wrote himself, and it's his whole relationship with drawing, starting to draw after his grandfather passed away, going through like challenging himself, like getting to know exactly his process, and so not being fascinated about drawing anymore, and so like going to look for something more challenging, like an algorithm, and then going back and then drawing what his algorithms created. So just I hope that you can read the article. And if we switch to the other drawings that we have, those circle ones, for instance, those drawings are part of the series G53. G53 in the computer's language means home. So like literally the computer is drawing spirals to go home, so to reach the center of the image, and then often also challenges himself to like literally compare like how he hand draws the art and how the computer does. We have a beautiful video here if you want to watch it that will explain the whole process of this romantic way of going home for the computer. And this one. And another artist that we host here is, we have two artists who play a lot with light. One is Jason Young and one is Richard Garrett. They're very different in their practice. But for instance, if we look at the blue art piece, this is a new art piece by Jason Young and Cadaf. No, Jason, he has been part of Cadaf for all the editions, and until a while ago, it was playing with light with LEDs and Arduino with these sculptures that he creates, where the patterns of the light will never repeat since it's coded. So it's random. And here, for the first time since the background of Jason is the painting background, here it really blurs the border between what is paint and what is light. So there is a research of light in the content itself. This is the Manhattan town, and it's inspired by the light that hits the buildings of Manhattan in the morning. But also, like, there are two sets of LEDs blended with paint. One set is on the paint, so like just flashing light of it, and one set is going through the painting. So again, as also the other piece that we can see here, the subway piece.
This one?
Yes, this is also, yeah, Uptown and Queens. This is also how, the idea of how the masses reaching out the light from the darkness of a subway. And again, here you have this playing of the light with the paint. So Jason is a new media artist. He is very interesting, and please check all these works that you can find on our website. It very concerns the void and the relationship that we have with light and the perception. So go to check for him. And then the other artist that I was talking about is Richard Garrett, that I had the pleasure of hosting in the show that we had in Rome. Richard Garrett is the second and the third in the first row. So these are, so Richard is always one of the most difficult artists for me to explain, even when I was in Rome, because at a certain point, you cannot explain art too much. He really plays with light and photography and the intersection of physical and digital. He had made a lot, he has created a lot of sound installations. So he's really a multidisciplinary artist who really doesn't see borders between, music, light, and physical photography and everything. He studies a lot. Maybe you can go ahead. This is a series of 8 pieces that he created during the quarantine, and it's his first NFTs. You can find them on Super Rare. So he also investigates a lot the input and the personal perception that we have of light, and also these impulses and inputs that we have all around us from our society, and how we react to that. This is pure digital, and you find it as an NFT. If you go to the other 2 art pieces, if you scroll down, there it's 2 videos. Yeah, the third. This is videos, and still exploring the digital and the perception of it. This comes printed on an infinite object. And paired with an NFT for also what we're doing, always trying to present both souls of digital art piece in their digital nature and their physicality. And if we keep going with the next artist, who is Giants One.
Dara, can I interrupt you for a second? Just because I don't think everybody knows what is infinite object, so maybe you can explain that. And also I see there is a question about what is generative art. So if you want to attempt that as well, that would be great.
Yeah. So infinite object is an amazing object that I have here. Well, it's okay. You can go to check their website. It's pretty much, I think, for as much as I know, it's the only, they're the only ones who are printing videos. So you have the videos that are treated like a photo. And so they print your video in this beautiful acrylic object, and it lasts forever. It's in a loop, and you have your little video with you. I was always amazed by what they created. It's unique. You cannot change it. So it's not that you buy it and that you can change the file inside. So it's a print. Go check on their website. Generative art, ask Jason Bailey. But no, generative art is art created by the use of algorithms. So it could be either created with machine learning algorithms or even code. So for instance, Jason Young using code and Arduino for the light patterns, it's generative art. And the dream of the computer dreaming the creation of a sculpture created with the use of the AI by Ben Snell is generative art. I hope that was clear. So interaction with algorithms and machine learning and code. Yeah, if we go to Giants One, which is the first on the 3rd row. Yeah, this is Giants One. I hope that you can follow on Thursday. Cadaf will screen the talk that I had with Giants One. This artist creates in virtual reality. So he paints and sculpts inside the virtual world, wearing Oculus and playing and creating art with joysticks. What he creates, I personally think that it's amazing. It's a dance. I wrote a bio about him and I called it the infinite dance of Giants One. One of the most amazing things is that you might think that to create art in the VR space is 100% completely and native digital. It is native digital, but there is a physicality in it that we consider, meaning that like what you see here is the result of physical movements, imperfections. So Giants One is literally moving and creating his sculptures while dancing. And this is why also a huge component of his work is music. So what we have here, sometimes it captures this I mean, it's not screenshots. It's really like points of view of the virtual world that he creates. Here, he took a whole video. He is going ahead, and at a certain point, it will be able for us to enter. It's already possible to enter. I showed one of his sculptures in Rome, and I just had a pedestal with an Oculus. So you wear the Oculus and you enter inside the sculpture. It's very interactive. It's it's a performance. I hope that you can see the talk. We just analyze like the involvement of the audience in art and in the art pieces, starting from Leonardo, getting to VR. So I hope that you enjoy it. And this is also an NFT that you can find on Super Rare. Genius One is very big in the NFT scene for a while now. And then last but not least, we have this couple of artists who are called Lily Honley. And yeah, this is a project, an amazing project, and it's another use case of digital art. It's kind of like a social critique and really like a witness of what's happening in China in terms of urban change. I don't know if many of you know, but like in the past at least 10 years, China has been going through huge changes in, buildings and cities. Pretty much they are destroying the little old buildings to build these huge new and modern buildings. But there's more to that. Here you see like the non-safety in the workspace. Anyways, besides what they talk about, and I really recommend for you to look at this. This is a VR environment that they created, and really like to see what art means in the post-digital era. And here we have these prints in augmented reality. So you just scan, you download an app, which in this case is RTV app. And if you do it right now on your screen, it's going to work as well, because once that an image is codified with augmented reality, it works anywhere. It can work on a catalog, on the actual print. And so if you just point your phone at it, it will get animated. So we have this beautiful, I love these artists. They're very, very involved with society issues and using VR, augmented reality, and any digital tools that they can possibly use to be more interactive and take us into the worlds that they create. And yeah, if you can, just download the RTV app and have fun in scanning all the works that we have here, and you will see that the animations are very beautiful, and these are all tokenized on OpenSea. I hope that you enjoy. It was very quick, but thank you so much for this possibility. I hope that you have the chance to read all the content that we have for all the artists, and thank you.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Eleanor. Such great artists, a beautiful collection. Really, it's great to see how your gallery develops and how many new artists you have, and all of them are very already, I would say, quite established digital artists today. So that's amazing. All right, thank you so much. And now we have, last but not least, Jerome Guilleaume, who is going to be sharing his own screen and sharing his creative process by himself. So
yeah,
please,
hi everybody.
Welcome.
Thanks for having me second here at Cadaf. Like everybody, pandemic has been a weird time to create. Just a little background for me. I'm a musician at first, and I started visual 8 years ago with trying to find a way to express other ways to go with generative art, and I managed to go through something that goes with mathematics, and which was a part of what I do with generative in music, and it was a normal way to continue to visuals. So since we won't show the booth now, I might show simply a work that is on the boot, and we'll go just through it. Sorry, I will go to this thing. Am I still here? Yeah, all right.
Yeah, you're still here, and I see that we
Yeah.
have some great questions. So we'll just go over the questions after Jerome's presentation.
So this one. So there we go. So this one is called 59 Blooming One Dead. At this point, you can see 60 mathematical curves that are arranged in space to create some kind of a sensitive, emotive response, because by themselves, they're really like, it's just one, you know, like a one curve that can be really drab. I don't know, like so you can see they are arranged in space, and at this point it's just like a way of perspective to make them feel like they're alone or together and everything. What I wanted to show with this piece was isolation, and how, especially during pandemics, how it was a part of like being together, and isolation and being alone was a kind of a way to isolate yourself and maybe like not feel really well about it. The thing is, I try to do with these tools is to take something that's really raw, as you see mathematic forms, and try to make them feel some things. Sometimes it's not that easy because it's really raw. Sorry, just and sometimes it's just yeah. So since we're in 3D space, we can pretty much navigate everywhere and like see the whole the things and zoom in as much as we want to have in depth, and each and every piece is unique in that sense, because it's really a way to explore something, and I just find a piece, a moment in that movement to express it. So like I just take this one, since it's generative art, anything that you do to move will move together. So we'll see this one moving slowly. If I change a parameter, if I just go like slowly towards something, it will kind of move by itself. And I just feel it's really natural. It's really a way to, I don't know, it's mesmerizing on my side. So when I find something that's not pure noise, I try to save it and make it beautiful for people to see. I guess it's not that interesting to see like that on that part on the side. You see, this is like just raw mathematic formulas. It's not that interesting to see. But if we can go just quickly through Elizabeth to my booth, I will stop sharing. Yeah, it stops sharing. Great. I can talk about the other pieces that I have here, or if you want, I can do it myself. It's not that important right now. Or okay, yeah. Not sure if you are here. So I maybe find the other ones. La la la. So wait up. Share the screen again. I will share a part of that's one part of what I wanted to. It's not the good one, right? Right now. Stop sharing. So this one is another part where it's just like really raw. and try to convey something really close to what the thinking I had. This one is called Geisha because of an Amelina Tom book I saw. Just really the red lips really struck me at that point, and like the difference between like everything in black and white and everything, and just like how I want to emulate these things. So yeah, like I said, everything's like it's 3D and it's a part of a perspective point, and at this point is really like you see. Yeah. I'm not sure if I can go through another one. Like I said, the creative process comes from music. So the tools I use to make them in movement are coming from Maxim SP and Ableton and everything. So it's meant to be linked together, but right now it's evacuated. Nothing is like shown, especially at Cadaf. I didn't put the emphasis on movement and music and only on stills. Because I think it was not ready yet to show, but it exists. I have a Vimeo that like show all the experimentation and how it works and how it's really interlinked. But yeah, so I can stop this share. We can like maybe go through one of the booth to see what else is needed, and if Elizabeth is somewhere here.
I don't know. Elizabeth can try to pull out your booth.
Yeah, let me just pull it up 1 second.
So we have a couple of more minutes maybe to go.
Yeah, I'll just show one or two and then
through that, and then we go into the questions. I'm happy to see that there are quite a bit of questions, so we can try to answer some of them. So maybe first, yeah.
So we've seen a couple right already. You could go to the it's really minimal, most of the stuff. The only one that I want to show you right now is like the 7 Mujeres.
Okay.
It's coming. Where is it? I guess it's the 5th one, but it's here we go. Yeah.
This one.
Yeah, this one.
Cool.
Yeah. Like I said earlier, it's like these are the same process everyone as anything else. It's just like a perspective make me feel that it looks like, yeah, it's really lines and everything. And the perspective made me feel like it looks like a woman. So it's the name I give it to be the first impression people have when they see it. And then afterwards they ask what it is, It's we're zoomed in a lot. Right.
So, there you go.
Oops, need to restart it. There
you go.
So all the curves and everything, maybe there's like the one on the side that will show how uninteresting it is if you're not in the right perspective. It's just blurbs of colors and like rounds and stuff like that. Yeah, I guess it covers the process. If you have any question, I guess you can write them in comment.
Thank you, Jerome.
Again, yeah.
These are very cool and minimalistic, but really, really cool. All right, so I think we have a few questions already, and if you want more questions, please, now is a good time to ask our exhibitors the questions. So I think Roxana, who's still here, very good, and there were a few questions from Roxana. The one that I see, I just wonder how regular people could do this art pieces, like how do we get the technology, AI and VR? I find this fascinating, yet feel limited regarding Roxana, you're probably an artist working maybe in more traditional mediums. I don't know if any of you wants to answer. I think that getting into the community is always the best way to start. So we have quite an extensive community as Cadaf. Please follow us on Instagram, which you probably already follow, and Twitter, and become a part of our events. I'm sure there are certain classes, and I see Benton is suggesting already good stuff for Roxana. So yeah, I mean, there are a lot of things, but if any of you wants to also advise, there is also a question from Benton, a great question. What mediums are most represented at Cadaf using the categories that Arthaus Gallery select from? So from our experience, it's a very diverse group of artists and very diverse mediums that are represented, and that was our goal actually from the beginning, to show very diverse mediums. So we really want to show as much as possible that's on the market today. We see still, I mean, a lot of generative art, which is very, very popular. There is a lot of, some sort of video interpretations, so working with the videos one way or another. There is some glitch art, I think. We work with a lot of augmented reality because we do also Digital Art Month now, which is an augmented reality festival that takes place in person right now in Paris. So we have a lot of augmented reality things and anything associated with that. So very, very diverse. Very, very diverse. Eleanor had to run, which is fine. So I think we covered now the questions that we've had. Thank you, Jerome, for sharing the link. Do you guys have any more questions for the artists or for us? Anything else we can reply with? Thank you so much for joining for the tour. We will edit this video and we will be sharing it with you over the email very soon. Please explore, sorry for the noise. We're still getting a lot of notifications from the organization of the fair, which still goes on. We actually extended the fair one day longer. So it's going to be still live on Thursday. So you have a lot of other opportunities to explore the fair. We're hosting a lot of talks as well. If you're on our newsletter, we've been sending each day the program for the events as well. We're also saving everything into our YouTube channel, so you can explore there as well. And we're working on new events as we speak, so we'll be in touch very soon with the new Cadafs and Digital Art Month.
Thank you, Elena. Thank you so much. It was wonderful to meet real artists and to see real art, and thank you, Cadaf. If you can share like some more details about your future plans. So what's coming next? Like what are other events for us not to miss, and where to find information?
Yeah, so this was the second digital art fair online that we hosted. So we've hosted so far 2 editions offline and 2 editions online. And right now we want to continue working in this hybrid model. We also have Digital Art Month, which is a different kind of animal, but still very close to Cadaf. So it's an augmented reality festival where we put augmented reality works on the streets of the city. We've had 3 by now, 1 in New York, 1 in Miami, and now 1 is taking place in Paris. So after Cadaf is over, we start working on Digital Art Month New York. So if you're in New York, you can explore it. We're going to be doing it second time in the row, and it will be either in October or in November this year. But at the same time, we also want to continue working virtually as well. So we're going to be extending our platform to be available year-round. We really love the community of artists that we are working with. We want to show them more, and we want to share their works more with the audience. We continue our cultural programming, and then hopefully have a real life fair sometime in the near future as well. Hopefully, if everything, if the stars come together or everything gonna be good, maybe for Miami Art Basel, we'll host another in-person fair. But so far, we're gonna be available again online on a year-round basis, starting from, you know, pretty much very, very soon.
Thank you.
Thank you. No, thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much, Priyanka and Jerome, for introducing your works. I know that they're already left, but thank you so much for joining. It's been wonderful, and we're going to be hosting more tours. So we will try to host another tour tomorrow and another tour day after tomorrow. We'll post it. We already have one on Eventbrite, I think, for tomorrow, and we're going to be posting one for Thursday as well.
Elena, sorry. Can you say again, the fair in October or November, is that New York City, or did you say that's Rome? I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's New York. We're still in New York, so the most convenient place for us to host anything, of course, is in New York. So it's going to be Digital Art Month. So it's going to be augmented reality filters all over the city, maybe with some screens. But of course, there's going to be an online component to that as well. So everything that you see in augmented reality and anything else, the videos, you will be able also to purchase on our platform. All right. So it's always a hybrid these days. All right. Well, thanks again for joining, and hope to see you very, very soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.